What's up guys, it's Talon here, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at how you can improve your W King skills by analyzing top NA East controller player Deyy, and most importantly, this insane 30 bomb that he ends up dropping. But before I get into this video guys, if you do enjoy my content or find what I'm telling you helpful, please drop a like on this video, hit that subscribe button, and turn on post notifications. Also, if you wish to support me in another way, use code TALON.FN in the Fortnite item shop, #ad. But without further ado, let's just jump right in. Alright guys, as you can see on the screen, we have Deyy's POV. He is going to be rotating in from what I believe is Pleasant Park into Boney Burbs. And as I mentioned previously, 30 bomb in the solo cash cup. So a ton of engagements, a lot of W King. He ends up placing 10th overall, and there's some stuff from that gameplay to go over as well. But again, the focus is this insane 30 bomb in this first game. So taking a car to rotate over, and based on some of the individuals that I see him fighting in this particular VOD review, I'm wondering if he started significantly late, because there's some people that I just do not believe are real. Nice little jump crack right there, piece control right there, gets out. One thing I always want to talk about Deyy's what I like to call edit flow is he always goes from bottom up when he does little 3 bottom. Now watch this guy. This is pure comedy. This guy doesn't even know what the build button is. It's actually kind of funny. But in reference to Deyy's edit flow, when he edits almost any builds, it's always from the bottom of the build up to the midline. And this allows him to have fantastic crosshair placement. So good free 2 eliminations off early. Look, guys spinning around looking incredibly lost. Look at that. I mean, you see the first couple kills and you'd be like, he must have started an hour late or something.
Oh my god. Okay.
And then he finds a bush camper who hops in the car, hits him for 96. And then we're going to talk about this edit flow. He has fantastic AR pressure as well. So I'm going to talk about right here. This edit flow always goes from top to bottom. And then fantastic into X8 Classic right there. Let's just go over that just a little bit. What I'm going to talk about in terms of edit flow, and what I want to talk about is a great way just to get a great technique to incorporate in your gameplay is ramp phasing. It's a great way. There's many ways you can use it. Specifically, this was a pretty standard breakdown. Replace the ramp and just phase and take the 50-50. Now, good AR spray doesn't take the pickaxe out. When I VOD reviewed Deyy in Chapter 2, Season 5, that was one of the main focuses. Look at it cracking. It comes from the bottom. Make sure he cones. He sprays through, places his own ramp and phases it, and good crosshair placement takes the 50-50 and ends up winning, because it's not a 50-50 truly, because he's at such significant health advantage. But one thing I always talk about with Deyy is that, one, he has fantastic hip fire aim, and that's just due to great crosshair placement and in obviously low ping, but just great edit flow that makes his crosshair placement even better. Look, again, coming from underneath, mid to low with that edit flow. Then coming again, same type of thing with the edit flow. Now he's fighting a guy with a spaz, and it gets to the third period, gets third partied right here. And then just see an AR pressure takes the wall, 100 crack. And then good AR pressure finishes the fight, and he's going to get a gold spaz. And this is what's going to birth this absolutely beautiful 30 bomb. A lot of the opponents he ends up finding just...
Corner. Oh my god.
Look at that good crosshair placement. Full piece 200 on crazy. Just a good example of piece control. But this car is also an interesting strategy. He uses a car to just go around and keep people, but he also uses it to break builds, as we previously saw. Now this is just a very uncomfortable situation. It's hard visual to see. Misses the shot. He gets a nice little 100 crack. And then you're just kind of shooting into the bush. Good AR pressure right there. 34 coming from underneath. And then a nice peanut butter right hand peek.
Oh my goodness.
And he's rolling through the lobby now. 11 kills. Good AR pressure. Good 92. A lot of these opponents are incredibly weak, either from just good third-party opportunities. Look at that hip fire aim. This is what I talk about. Deyy's hip fire aim is absolutely crazy, and he uses the AR pressure to consistently take walls. Look, just times it perfectly in between bursts of the cannon, and doesn't even need a shotgun. And then look at some of the individuals that he runs into. It just hip fire aims him with his scarf.
Okay, what the fuck?
Even the person he's in a call with can't believe it.
It only takes 3 hits.
Now drop someone who's on 1. Fantastic, 100 crack. Gets up, good following. It just doesn't stop with the AR pressure, right? Doesn't go for big, doesn't use the shotgun, just AR pressure. Opponent's building out a bud, you can spray through. And then Chug Cannon, obvious. Don't need to go over this season. Chug Cannon is fantastic.
Bro, what is this kid doing, bro?
I don't even understand that particular play, and I think Deyy doesn't either. The guy is 1 to none HP and is fully editing down, making a, like, pushing with a launch pad and triple editing down when he's 100 white. It just doesn't make sense. I don't know. That's why I was kind of a little bit skeptical when he started this tournament, but it's still an impressive feat. 100 plus eliminations, and again, constant AR pressure, especially on wood. The little Metro Classic now, he's got to recognize that he doesn't have any assault rifle ammo. And so this is where you kind of see the pickaxe play come out. Nice, fantastic. Just gets up and finishes the fight. And that's just good, like, game sense awareness point, is I don't have that scar anymore. I'm not going to waste time, like, spraying at any walls or any particular thing because I don't have any AR. So that's when I got to start taking my pickaxe out, you know? Just small little just awareness in terms of... Now this is a bad angle. This is actually a left-hand peek, and I believe this is actually one of the most cracked we see Deyy get in fights, even though the opponent's not particularly good. That's a good escape route, and he misses the shot. Now he's playing more on the wall. And then ends up getting cracked. Make sure it takes a little bit, but the opponent isn't that good. A bad peek initially to start off. Better opponent may have capitalized. Just keep that in mind. Now we're at a 20 bomb already. Fantastic little clicks X point. Good. Alright, this is a nice little technique to go over. This is kind of like a clicks breakthrough X point. Even if he doesn't get in, you get that cone in there. And that's really, really good. And again, that's brought on by his AR pressure. So we're getting in here. One wall. We basically try to phase in. We do. Opponent actually doesn't end up building a wall. We get a nice little escape route and a good peanut butter peek in terms of tightness to the wall. One thing that can get you in trouble with peanut butter peaks is that if you play further away, the more exposed you are. So you know how tightly Deyy is to the wall right here? Look how protected he is. As opposed to if he makes that exact same edit and he's more back towards wherever he's standing, he's a lot more tradable. And he doesn't even do anything really special, right? He kind of takes he's cracked shield, so he's going to take that nice little free jump shot instead of really following the, you know, what you're usually... Like a most optimal peanut butter peak is if you do that jump up to the top and left and you follow, what I like saying, follow the peanut butter. But he doesn't do that in that situation. But the reason why he's so protected is he makes sure he makes that peak when he's incredibly tight to the wall. It's such a minor thing, but it can really, it's just a way to optimize your peaks when you're pressuring individuals. Nice little cone right here. Fantastic. Now I'm going to go over that as well. Something I've talked about in the Bronos VOD review, and just something that's just good in general. Ken Beans has talked about it as well. But this is a great use of cones for so many reasons. This is right here. This is where the crosshair placement is. If you put this crosshair, you can get this cone off right here, even if you're in front of it. Look, boom, good crosshair placement, cones off. And then he's placing cones to make sure, in case that opponent goes back on that particular level, he stays on that level. He gets a nice little 100 crack, and then he does it again. Look. Now this opponent has no choice but to stay on this level. Now opponent actually gets the other wall and doesn't get the shot because Deyy is kind of maybe a little bit worried about the pressure, but he then gets the full box. A little bit scuffed mechanically. The opponent actually builds the wall for him, it looks like, and then just good hip fire, AR aim to finish, which again I said Deyy is absolutely fantastic at. So, 22 kills.
How many points do you got there?
So 31 points in the first game. Jumps in, just psychos in. Now this is where things get a little bit sketchy. Yes, you get in that 50-50 situation with a pad. But look at this. Creating a ton of space. And they're now into moving zones. He has a pad. Opponent's eating a flopper out in the open. He's fortunate to have a chug cannon. Deyy would have probably only gotten it out there. But look at, we're kind of shambles here in endgame. But look at this again. 24 eliminations, incredibly crazy, and this is just clutch factor right here. We don't have a lot of HP. We're nearly one tap. We do a smart, intelligent thing right here, I believe. I believe this is where he uses a ramp peak to kind of look at this. This is very smart. This actually kind of gives him the refresh he needs. Right there. Look, 100. Fantastic. And follows, waits for him to run through, fans through, and then he gets a fully charged chug, and he gets a little bit of mats. Now this is just a very unfortunate scuff situation. Takes the 50-50 trade. We don't get to really see what ends up happening. Oh, nice little full box right here. Opponent just kind of walls himself off. Sorry guys, there was an ad. Let's continue. Gets 100 crack as this opponent falls down. Runs into another one. And like I said, fantastic hip fire aim is something that Deyy possesses. Just fantastic crosshair placement with his aim. It's how he's able to eliminate opponents so quickly. Goes up to high ground, has a lot of the piece control. Drops down on this opponent. Look at that. Another hipfire elimination following down. 29 kills. And this is how you know Deyy is just absolutely vibing. He literally says, I'm going to go for a clip. A chance at a 30 bomb in a cash cup. And he's like, ah.
Alright, chat. We're going for a clip, chat.
We're going for a clip. So we start cranking the free bail. Takes a little bit.
26 points.
26.
Does a nice job of using the chuck cannon. Again, that's why it's so strong, especially in endgame. This is actually, believe it or not, a ninth zone first game, but it is only a 1v1. Now this opponent's not going to have a significant amount of mats. Maybe a little bit scuffle right there. Opponent blocks him off, but you see the mechanics on display. Catches his zone 51, has control of that cone. One pumps.
30 bomb. 30 bomb! Bro, this is why.
And he's absolutely crazy, insane 30 bomb, but there's still more to go over. He does end up placing 10th overall. Now, like I said, he did land at Pleasant Park, but apparently got it uncontested. But doesn't have a great loadout right here. Good right-hand peek right here. He just misses the shot. Jump 63. Little thing. This is a little thing. Window edits are usually horrible unless your movement is good. And like I'm saying center window edits when I say window edits. Window edits. But look, we missed a shot right here. It's okay. We crack shield. Nice little jump 63. And then right here. Immediate swing to the left. And we get swing to the left and tightness. Tightness to the wall is also another thing to just note there. Makes it really difficult to hit. He gets a nice little refresh on an opponent that probably has better loot, it looks like. Has at least a good amount of a blue AR and a blue tack. So significant improvement. Yes, more stacked game obviously with the 30 bomb. So what he's going to do, sit here, he's kind of going to bait this spot. He's going to sit here and wait for this opponent to come up onto him. And then he's just going to crack, full box, make sure he gets everything, good movement back. And that's just a good way to get a good impact. Using cars for rotations. This isn't really an end game. Review, cuts him off. Just good recognition where that opponent's going to go. And then he gets... This is exactly what I'm always going to say. Refreshes in 5th are your absolute best friend. Always finding refreshes in 5th.
The bull thing, bro.
Are so good.
For it, though.
And then it just kind of fast forwards him. High ground, he has 3 eliminations. He's made a correct height play. Gets a free AR spray elimination as well. Also pulls back towards oil build. Looks like a very mountainous zone. He gets another free elimination just sitting on high ground. High ground can net you a lot of eliminations. Kind of fast forwards into a very stacked 9th again. She just gets in. Fantastic crosshair placement. That's a good thing you can always do too on wood. I just will talk about. As if you're coming down onto opponent. This is such a good tactic for getting a refresh. As when someone is sitting in a wood 1x1 and they don't have a cone over, you literally just fall in perfectly. And if you could expect it, it's just... If you just have good crosshair placement to finish the fight, good edit down right there. See the piece control on display. Ooh, opponent ends up just dying. Only a 48 headshot. GG's on that. But you'll take a top 3 100%. We didn't get to see a lot of the rotations. Like I said, this focus is W King. Good box right there. Doesn't even have a shotgun and just trusts his aim right there. That's what I'm talking about. Deyy's hip fire aim is fantastic. One good right here piece control, but then it's just trusting his aim. Boop, he just follows him perfectly. And then he grabs a shotgun. And taking gray pump over blue tack too. Nice 31 spray through.
His mental's too bad.
You hear him get fried, and then that's his cue to go. And then he places the third party between him and the person that he wants to key. Gets a nice little laggy shot. Gets a finish. Look how laggy this server is. 217. Cone. You knew it was coming. And look, good hip fire aim again.
You got 23 builds, so you're gonna have to get a refresh soon.
Good comms for whoever who's in the column. He said he's got to get a refresh soon. Doesn't have a lot of builds. So can't really hold height. That was a good opportunity. He is going to probably just go for a fantastic cone that keeps him on the same layer. He recognized where the opponent's going to edit out. And that's the boy cool. Actually, FNCS finals. I'm not sure if that's that cool, but FNCS qualifier week 1 winner on NA West.
How many people are in your game?
Only 4 eliminations, but sitting up on height.
69.
But he did get that important refresh, and that's just good recognition where the opponent's going to be. Drop down 100. Good ARA. Finishes quick. Now in the storm, so doesn't even worry about grabbing the scar. Holds him off. We're in a 1v1 situation.
The 1v1.
Does a good job of blocking him off right here. Now, I don't know if the opponent has floppers. Tries to get him off right here. Actually doesn't end up getting him off. Now they're in the storm. He gets blocked off. He nearly ends up dying. Is nothing. That's actually crazy. He ends up getting that. He even eats an apple to take a little bit of damage, but doesn't end up doing anything. And the opponent drops down. That's actually nuts. Just a good, that's a clutch factor, right? A little bit kind of a throw and recovering. Now game number 5, you're going to see important of pre-fight damage right here.
And I have max mats every game.
Absolutely lasers him.
I could get anywhere across the map.
Crazy.
A little Mitro classic, make sure he gets that wall, and then he just gets in. And then, like I said,
I only have 150 HP.
Fantastic, again, hip fire aim. We're in a moving zone. Recycling a pad. Sorry guys, there was an ad. Let's continue.
23 builds.
23 builds are not the absolute best. Cracks the opponent, just gets in. Oh my goodness. It just absolutely refreshes. Gets the refresh he needs. Immediately, boom, refresh. Gets exactly what he needs. Fantastic 100 as well. Gets another one. Gets out of that situation. The good conserved solo tarping as well. Even a little bit of Deyy dashing. Drops the cow. Opts not to use it in these tight zones. 3 eliminations. Oh, it gets... It looks like justice. Notice gets up, doesn't cycle for it, doesn't feel like he needs to. Has around 400 mats. Opponent jumps in on him, psychos. Make sure a little. Look at this. Look at this little stutter right here. Cracks 92, gets through. Notice how he doesn't shoot until he makes sure that his crosshair is up on his opponent. Because that body shot probably wouldn't have killed him. I was getting pressured from top. He's got 3 floppers so he can actually play. So he's getting pressured from heights. And then just the whole lobby unfortunately focuses. He really couldn't do too much in that situation. Maybe used his mats to extend out a little bit instead of trying to sit there. Game number 6. Now we actually switch over to a lazy lake landing. Subs only. And like I said, Deyy's hipfire aim is nuts.
They didn't quiet this entire time?
He's trying to get a big off. Fantastic. Look at that hipfire aim again. Just kind of using the big as a bait to get that opponent to play aggressive. Which is exactly what ends up happening. Fantastic crack shield. That's just confidence. Get the wall back. Fantastic.
How'd I almost die to that kid?
So what I want to talk about here is he uses right hand peek, good movement, tight to the wall. Gets it, cracks only for 27.
I'm not saying that.
Now, this is just immediate reaction to take that wall back. He takes it, and then this peek is so good. He gets 1 mini off, and then you hear it breaking through. Look at how protected he is when he makes this peek. And gets it.
How'd I almost die to that kid? I'm playing too like scared or something.
3 eliminations here. He's on a pepper, keying someone in wood. And look at that again, just good hip fire aim. That's one thing that really impresses me about Deyy. Oh my goodness. A little bit of a mistake here, right? Get a little bit scuffed in wood. We don't cover. We cover our head. Then we flip the ramp right in perfectly into him.
I'm so bad.
We don't have any audio right there to get some nice little free elimination. Landing at dirty, just all different all over the place. A little bit interesting. Good breakdown with the right hand peanut butter peak. Gets a finish. Bush camper. And we got a spaz this game. Good reload. Again, no pickaxe. A good crosshair placement. Just dominates him. Now we're in a much better situation end game. Not a much better situation. We're shambles, no mats, and we have very little HP. But we're placing a little bit higher than we did that last couple. And then he just gets caught with no mats on the rotation. Game number 8 looks like the final one. Super Stackers, 62 people. It's super laggy, and I'm just going to talk about this. The one mistake here is minor. It's not just right here. So notice how that's opponent-controlled builds. What they could have done is done essentially what's like a conserve tarp and flipped a ramp laterally like this to protect his back in case that opponent edits up, and then maybe just drop one building out of wood. Doesn't have the best, but probably. Like, you're already out here on edge, you don't have a lot of mats, but you do have pads, so you really want to make sure you get established. It doesn't really matter where you set up if you got pads. This is kind of like just a little bit of a, just not the best. And then, so going for heals and wood end game, especially after getting cracked, is not going to be good. It just wasn't the most intelligent play. Probably could have just opted to either just dropped or get one layer away, or even dropped earlier. Box up with your mats, you have the 2 pads, but that's probably what resulted in not a top 5 performance, but a top 10 we saw. Was just some mistakes in some fights towards the end, especially this is definitely fixable. The last one where you flip the ramp right into the opponent, you get kind of scuffed under your own ramp. Just create some space and some hard mats and reset the fight a little bit more defensive as opposed to just like sometimes when you're that W key mindset again, you get in that super rush, super aggressive, just in your face type play style. And so we see kind of sometimes that coming to a head here towards the end. But again, an absolutely insane 30 bomb performance. Again, some major things to take away. One, hip fire aim is absolutely fantastic on Deyy. It definitely helps him end fights quickly, and then just some very intelligent refreshes in fight IQ in that end game to continue and turn that into an insane 30 bomb. Well guys, that is going to do it for today's video. I hope that you did enjoy. If you did, please drop a like on this video, hit that subscribe button, and turn on post notifications. And I hope I'll be seeing you in the next one. Peace.